Anyways, if Omar or Chino or Abe want to sing in the background for some tunes, you guys can sing. All right, let's go. What do? This is the NASDAQ. We trade futures. You guys know that by now. You guys should know that by now. Okay, this is all we do, trade. Okay, what are we going to look at? Well, obviously we had a big sell-off. Okay, this is the 1 day time frame. Every single candlestick represents 1 day of price action, 1 day of price movement. Okay, so if I wanted, what are we going to do? Do you guys know? Can we get a thumbs up? Are we familiar with support and resistance? Or are we like, I'm stupid, I don't know what support and resistance is. It's okay if you guys don't know what it is. Do you guys know what support and resistance is? Can I get a thumbs up? Or are we like, or thumbs down? Put a thumbs up or thumbs down if you guys need a sleepy, don't stop. You already know what it is. Thumbs up, thumbs down. And when I mean you guys understand it, you guys can actually do it perfectly every single time. Okay?
We're going to ask one of you guys to chart for us.
All right. Candle tip or body? Candle, it's candle tip, or it's a wick. Candle wick. Candle wick. Okay, candle wick. I'm on the phone, so I can't can't see. Damn, bro, get off the phone. All right. So, and how do we draw support and resistance? We want to look for changes of direction, change of direction, change of direction, change of direction, change of direction. Every time I see the market change direction, that is a potential level of support or a potential level of resistance. So, change of direction here, change of direction here. Okay, change of direction here, and change of direction here. Again, I don't want to draw 1,000 lines, right? I don't want to confuse myself. All right, let's move down time frames. What do we got here? What do we got here? Okay, we have obviously resistance. We have support. Okay, I can fix that support. I can fix this resistance. Okay, and what I'm going to start implementing for you guys so you guys can actually understand it a little better is we're going to start drawing zones with the lines. And what does that mean? Well, if I go over to my rectangle tool, I'm going to draw a zone. So if I chop the top of this candle to the bottom of here, because we want to get the whole move of when it actually started changing direction, I'm going to make this red, red, and now this is a zone of resistance. So you guys can see when we come back into this, we fall lower, right? This can be, it help us as a zone. We can do the exact same thing for support. Bottom wick to, and I would say we can just do to here, and we can make this green. We can make this green. So, perfect, we got a zone. I just made a zone. Okay, we got resistance, we got support. And inside that zone, we have a little bit extra little level of support right here. And then we got a little extra, I'm not really gonna draw one right here, that's just gonna confuse us. Okay, you following me so far? You guys see how I drew those zones? You guys see how I actually drew those levels? Or you guys kind of like, Will, I'm lost, I don't really know what you're looking at. We good? Can move on? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Good, 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 good. Cool. And what's really good about zones is that can help you identify stop losses as well. So for instance, if we went in and we came into this 50 area level and we went short right here, right? We can actually have our stop loss right above the zone. So that can help us with our stop losses as well. Okay. Next, what I'm going to actually put in, okay? I'm going to add my moving averages. Okay. What are these moving averages? How do you get those moving averages? Well, the first one is the moving average exponential. It's this blue line right here, okay? And if I double click on this blue line, it should say 9 exponential moving average, and I keep it blue. What does this tell me? Well, this shows me in a 9-day period on whatever time frame I'm on, where the overall trend of the overall commodity or asset is at. So for instance right here, we're in a bull trend, bull trend, bull trend, bull trend, downtrend, bull trend. So it helps me identify trend. I don't just use this to, again, every tool that I'm showing with you guys, everything that I use, I don't use just by itself. You connect everything kind of together, okay? You connect everything together. Same thing with this green line. This is the 200, the simple moving average. Make sure you put it at 200 and make sure you can make it whatever color you want. I just have it as blue and green. Blue and green, okay? So I have my zone of resistance. I have my zone of support. I have a mini zone of support, and I have another level of support, and then right here can technically be acted as a level of support as well. Let's go to a smaller time frame, and you guys can ask questions. Ask questions while we're going through this, okay? And Chino, Omar, and Abe, if you have something to add it. Okay. Cool. So you guys can see here a smaller time frame, right? Look how these zones are a little bigger now because we're on a smaller time frame, right? So when it gets into these zones, we don't just want to say, oh, it touches the red, I'm shorting, or oh, it touched the green, I'm in. Because for instance, right, this big red candle, right? I'm not just going to be like, oh, it touched it, I'm in, because then you would have, that drawdown would kind of been nasty, kind of hurt a little bit, right? You want to wait, say, oh, it's technically getting into a demand area, getting into a supply area. I'm looking to enter, right? Same thing with here. We can see we have a support area around here as well, okay? Next, what we're going to add? We're going to add trend lines. I just released a YouTube video on trend lines. Go ahead and watch that. One indicator is that, Will. What do you mean, Christo? What indicator for what, brother? What indicator for what? We can add trend lines. How do I identify a trend line? Well, if you just are looking, if you guys look at the market, what's the difference between the moving averages? One is a lot tighter than the other one, right? The 200 moving average is going to be a little bit more valid and a little bit more accurate than the 9 exponential moving average. If I go to the 3 hour time frame, you guys can see how this 200-day moving average kind of acts as a support level. If I go to the 4 hour time frame, you guys can see how this 200-day moving average is acting as a support level. That can help as well. Simple to exponential. Yeah, they're just different moving averages. One monitors the overall asset closer than the other. Okay, but this one I think is acts a little bit more as a direction. Okay, let's continue. So how can I identify trend? What do I do to identify trend? Well, when I look at this, I want to look for trend. And how do I identify trend? Well, the market moves in 3 ways: up, down, sideways. And we went over that before, right? One, higher highs, higher lows, equal highs, equal lows, or lower lows, lower highs. Okay? And we have to find that on the chart. Okay? So for instance, before this happened, we were at equal highs, equal lows. This is consolidation. We're trying to break out of this consolidation right here, right? But right now we're in consolidation. So what do we do right now? Nothing, right? This exact moment, do we trade anything right now? No, because we don't want to trade consolidation. Okay, here, what is happening right here? Well, we can see we have a low hitting a support level. We have a higher low, a higher low, a higher low, higher high. Sorry, that's not a higher high. I lied to you guys. Let me delete that. Higher high, higher high, higher high, and then finally changing direction. So, but you guys have to identify higher highs, higher lows right off the bat. If you finally identify a higher high right here, oh, we're finally making a higher high. We're now getting to a level of supply. We might not want to look for going long still, right? So what we can do is we can draw a trend line from this low candle to this high candle. So instance, let's say we missed on this move. Let's say we didn't get anything on this move. We never went long. Whoopsie doopsie. Do we get FOMO? Do we just say, oh, it's right here, I'm just going to go long, let's buy? No, that's just trading. That's not trading. So we can identify, okay, we're potentially getting to a level of supply. We can start looking for shorts. Do we just enter if it touches the red? No, we have to wait for break of structure. We got to wait for break of structure. How do we identify break of structure? Well, first thing that we can look for is a breaking trend. When trend breaks, direction changes. That's one indication. Another indication is here's a high. We just made a higher high. Here's a lower high. Broke through higher low, right? So that's another indication, okay? And so what I would do is I would probably wait for 2 things to happen. Once we break, and if we go to a small time frame here, oh, and look at that. While we're speaking, we just broke trend, right? We just broke trend. So while I'm speaking, let's go to the 1 minute time frame real quick to show you guys. Once we break this trend, and what happens, look right here, what happens right before we break. We consolidate. Usually, and this is just from experience and me watching the market over and over and over and over and over again, when we usually consolidate, right, direction will change. It will change. So what will I do and when will I enter? There's a few reasons when I can enter. I can enter on this break right here. Stop loss can be potentially somewhere around here, right? I could wait for the retest, which would be over here, right? And then wait for it to come down. That's one thing. As well, I can realize we have a little bit of consolidation. So when this breaks, let me fix that. I can go short here on this break, right? Or again, just like I said, we break this, come back up, retest it, and then we can go short here. And again, it's not going to be a perfect sell, right? We can accidentally maybe like get in here, but that's okay. All right. And then you'd be like, well, Will, where would your stop loss be? Well, it changes, depends upon where you entered your position, right? It depends upon where you entered your position. If you entered your position immediately right here, let's say you entered here and you thought I was going to break here. Well, you would have been in the red a little bit. Well, where would your stop loss be? Your stop loss would be high at this candle. You've been pretty close to getting stopped out, but you wouldn't have been, right? If you didn't get in here, you could have gone in right here. Where would your stop loss be? I'll put it right here. Let's say you enter right here. Where would your stop loss be? Same level, okay? Look at Abe just like making money while we're talking. And by the way, guys, markets are technically open right now, but volume is terrible. I would not trade right now, okay? So we got our stop losses. We understand where we get our entries. Now, where does our take profits? Well, we have to identify, well, there is a level of support right here because we can see there's support here. So our take profit level can be around here, right? Our take profit level can be at the 200-day moving average right here. Our take profit, if we're really ballsy, can be all the way down here, which we usually don't hold that long, right? As well. So you guys, usually when I scalp trade, I'll probably be in here and I'll probably have gone out around here, right? But you guys have to see, maybe if we went in with two contracts, we could have gone out on one contract here, and then we could have had the other one as a runner, which means hold and maybe have a take profit 2 or take profit 3. Or what, you know what I mean? And then while the trade is going in direction, you start moving your stop loss down. Okay. Are you guys following me? Thoughts, questions, comments, concerns so far? Is this making sense? You're like, Will, I don't know. I still am super confused of what you're talking about. Again, I'm going to continue showing you guys this over and over and over and over and over again. Implement this every single day. Watch us trade live every single day together. Okay. How do you determine TP? Based off the next level of support or the next level of resistance is how I determine my next TP. Okay. Next thing we want to cover is fair value gaps. Well, I even have a little algo that identifies fair value gaps, which is pretty nice. Is it accurate? No, not all the time. It's pretty accurate though, right? We can see right here, red and green is being recorded. Is this red and green? Is this being recorded? Yeah, this is being recorded. Can I see it but really do it correctly? Because practice, guys. Do you think I mastered what I'm looking at now in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month? No. Not even close. But it took time. Okay? Go. I love that. You talk fast for a Texan. Well, technically, I wasn't born in Texas. If you guys want to have a little bit of a get to know your mentor. Technically, I was born in Russia, so my birthplace was Russia, and I lived in London for a little bit, and then I lived in New York City for a little bit, and then I lived in Texas. So, need me to talk faster? Okay, so when we go to this, no, I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm Russian. I'm a Russian, boys and ladies. Military brat? Nah. Not military brat. My dad worked for AT&T / he worked on Wall Street for a little bit. So the company, he worked on like telecommunication stuff. So his job just made him move around a lot. And so yeah, East Coast, that makes more sense. There you go. Yeah, I do. And guys, if I'm speaking too fast or if I'm going over something too quickly, tell me. You guys can ask questions. You guys are part of the team. Okay, you guys can ask whatever you want. You're a contractor for AT&T? Let's go. How was high school? What do you mean? Hi, team. She just pops up in here. Mar just pops up in here. Hi, team. Oh, my gosh. Tony, your wife's here. You guys, it's not even in here. Anyways. Let me continue. Okay. Fair value gaps. Well, we can see break a structure, comes back into this fair value gap. Again, it's not going to be perfect, but we could have entered a short here because we broke structure. Right? Let's say we missed all this. Well, we can see that there's another fair value gap here, right? And we can actually move these lines, because while we trade, guys, the biggest thing that we have to identify while we trade is we have to change our levels of trend, our levels of support, our levels of resistance, our zones. Because when the market moves, our levels change. The data is incorrect, right? So we have to see that we're actually making higher highs, higher lows here. And look, another trend was formed. You guys can see that, right? This is literally, and guys, my strategy, if you guys can master this strategy and really understand this, sleep, drink, eat, breathe the strategy, and then you manage your risk to a T. Again, that's why you're here. That's why you have a team. And you manage your position sizing, and you watch me do this day in and day out with you guys, you will get it. You will get it. Okay, like this. Same thing, exact thing like I told you. We're in an uptrend. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher high, higher high, higher high. But looky over here, previous level of what? Resistance, right? So what do I want to look for? I want to look for break a structure, okay? Come back into the fair value gap, enter short, take profit, right here, right? Stop loss, somewhere up here, right? So our ROR, our risk to reward, is on point, okay? It's on point, and we just replicate this, right? We do this every single day, day in, day out, on repeat, okay? But see how I have multiple different types of confirmation? I identify trend, identify resistance level, identify break of trend, I enter on a fair value gap, or I enter on a resistance or support break. It changes every single day. I posted the shorts in member chat. Cool. Break of structure, is that both resistance or trend line? Yeah, break of structure can be both. Like for the example, what's happening right here in the market, right here, right? As we speak, broke support. What is happening as we're speaking, right? It came back up, is retesting this level. You know, I can even open up a paper trading account right now. Here's a paper trading account. Let's go short here. All right, I'm in short right now. This is fake money, guys. If you get, I just deleted my algo. This is fake money right now, guys, if you're wondering. Okay, so I'm not in with real money. But just so you guys can see how does this work, right? So I'm short 2 contracts right now. Again, don't ever trade past after hours, ever. This is the worst amount of, like, the strategy itself kind of sucks after hours, but I'm showing you guys the gist, right? We're consolidating, sell off, right? Broke structure, came back up, and now what is our goal? And again, my win rate, guy, is 70-30. I still lose 30 to 20% of the time, but how I have my risk means so much, right? So for instance, right, I'm short here. Where would my stop loss be? Well, my stop loss would be probably around here, right? Take profit will be at these lows, right? And it's probably going to take quite a bit of time because it's after hours, right? And then you guys can see we're just consolidating right here. Questions? I like Sunday's opener push. Yeah, that was an amazing push. Again, elite traders. If you guys are elite traders, every Sunday starting now, you guys are going to get a pre-market entry as well, and then some private lessons. But don't worry, everybody's part of the team. But you guys can see, right? We're pushing higher here. We're pushing higher here, right? If we want to go to a bigger time frame, right? You guys can see. Look at this wick, right? We're pushing down, coming right back up. And again, sometimes always trading doesn't work to our advantage every single time, right? But you guys can see that I'm still not going to exit these positions. Oh, there we go. Now we're back in profit, right? And then obviously, where would my stop loss be? My stop loss would be right here, right? And we'll see if that goes the way it goes. Depending upon how strong this level of support is right here, which if I go over, I mean, it's not the strongest level of support, but you guys can see if we do break above this level of resistance, I'll get stopped out. If I can even put my stop loss right here. There we go. And my take profit all the way down here. Right? So in this trade, for instance, I'll be risking $280 to make about $600. You see that, guys? So I'll be risking $280 to make $600. Okay? And then this was just kind of a bad entry trade because I literally just looked at this the last second to try to identify it. But is that kind of making sense? Right? And the good thing is you can lose 2 times in a row, 2 plus 2, that's 400, maybe 500. You can lose 2 trades in a row, and then one winner would make up that whole loss in 2 red trades. So it's all about probabilities, it's all about statistics, and it's all about repetition. Are you still working your $500 challenge account? No, I took a break on that. I'm wanting to show you guys prop firm, so I'm only trading on prop firm accounts right now. So my goal is to get up to 5. I have 1 passed account, and I'm still working on getting my second one passed right now. And my goal is to get up to 5 prop firms passed, and up to so I'll be like $500,000 in prop firm capital, which will be pretty nice. Okay, it'll be pretty cool, pretty nice. Other questions, comments? I hope that's kind of making sense for you guys. Hope that's kind of making sense. For instance, right here, right? If we start making a lower high here, this might be a play. I could even get out before we hit this level of resistance, right? Because if overall change of direction is going to change, because you guys can see, we potentially can make higher highs, higher lows. I might get out of the position, right? What's the fair value gap indicator? Yeah, if you go to indicators right here, and then you type in fair value gap Lux Algo, it'll be right here. It'll be right here. Okay. And there you go. We're still technically in this. We're only down $90, now $70. There we go, right? And we can see if this can continue going lower here.
$150.
There you go. And I'm not, and this is paper trade. I'm just trying to show you guys a live example as much as possible at 6:32 at night, right? But yeah. So here's one of my problems getting into doing immediate buyer sells setups, all parameters beforehand. What do you mean, bro? What do you mean, brother? Can you talk about fair value gaps? Yeah. So for example, fair value gap is a 3 candlestick pattern, right? So for instance, this fair value gap that I'm using to short right now is 3 candlesticks. 1, 2, and then 3. So it's this candle, and then this big candle. Okay. And you guys can see that it's grabbing the low wick of the previous candle and the high wick of that next candle. And in between that is a gap. Okay. And what we use, and same thing with how it does, when a break of structure happens, like this level of support was broken, we broke, coming back up into the fair value gap to hopefully go lower back into lower lows, right? And how fair value gap works is it just goes back and grabs liquidity, right? Like so far, we're almost back to break even on this trade already, right? Let me get out of this. Okay, and you guys can see on this example trade that I'm giving you guys, I didn't have the best execution. I could have maybe waited a little bit and gone in right here, and I've been in the money right now. So as long as your execution is as close as possible to what you're trying to identify, but at the same time, if you miss the trade as well, don't have FOMO and don't try to force the trade as well. Right now, we're only down $40. And what we can do is we can actually reduce our risk, move our stop loss a little bit. So now we're risking $240 to make $570. Right? It's pretty nice. I've gotten on it for the last couple of lessons. Is there a button I'm missing? Is there a button? No, there shouldn't be, Luke. Instant buy or sell gives no stop. If you use a different buy stop, you have to set up a market risk stop loss before entry. Yeah, usually when I enter, then after my entry, then I put my stop loss and then I put my take profit in. Yeah, so yeah, check your Bluetooth. What else we got, guys? Does that kind of make sense on this play? Again, it's moving super slow because it's after hours. I never trade after hours, but again, I'm just giving you guys an example. Wouldn't the best trade entry to wait until end of consolidation? What do you mean, B? It makes sense. Good. And again, every time I trade, it's different. I might not trade, like every single time, I might enter on the break of this resistance level, right? And if I miss that, I'll be, okay, broke structure, coming back to retest, coming back down. On the 2-minute time frame, this is looking good so far. On the 5-minute time frame, it's looking somewhat good. On the 1-minute time frame, it's no, not really, because it looks like it's kind of flattening out, consolidating. But again, this is after hours. It kind of moves like crap. But again, the strategy itself is there, right? And then you guys can see that we're in kind of a little bit of a tiny little bit of an uptrend, which is actually just got broke again. So, and we're only down $10 right now on the trade, right? Today was choppy. I think the Grinch was playing with the markets, at least when I was trading anyways. Okay, I couldn't keep up with you in the morning. Now I get it. Yeah, I'm going to do better with my call outs and stuff in the mornings. Like, I'm going to start trying labeling my line. Say, hey, if it breaks here, I'm going to get in here. If it breaks there, I'm going to get in there. I will let you guys know. Again, I can't tell you. You might not get exactly dollar amount to dollar amount if you guys decide to follow me on that trade. But I will try to do better to make you guys understand those entries and exits, okay? I couldn't keep up. So far, my problem seems to be self-doubt. Yeah, tomorrow, lesson, it's going to be all about mental again, okay? It's all going to be about mental because, like, you guys can understand the strategy, right? You guys can understand the strategy, but if you guys are in your head freaking out and palms are sweaty, the strategy doesn't really matter, right? Like, for instance, there we go. We're making some money now. What you guys have to understand is, will I freak out? And look at that. There we go. Will I freak out if I lose $240? No. You guys can't freak out if the loss. Losses do happen as traders. Okay? Losses do happen as traders. You have to be okay with the loss. You have to be okay with the loss. Okay? But if your strategy, you have more winners than losses and you're not full porting your account and you have tight stop losses, the math and the numbers check out. And look at that. There we go. Now we're up 130 on this trade. Okay, I can move my stop loss just a little bit more down. So now we're risking $200 for this position. I would not go break even stop until we're more down here. Right? I would not do a break even stop until we're more down here. Okay, there we go. And you guys are literally seeing in the left time the strategy working right now. Now we're up 180 right now, 200. Okay, now I can move my stop loss a little bit more. So now we're risking 140 on the position. Right? And I'll probably leave it there until we get lower, right? So now I'm risking $140 instead of risking $240. Okay. I'm a new trader. I signed up for a Top Step and I already had a Webull connected to my trading view. If I'm trying to follow you, how do I do the same entry in trading view? You would just hit buy or sell on trading view, brother. You just hit buy or sell on trading view. After consolidation, wouldn't the underlying shoot up or down? Wouldn't the best entry be to wait near the end of the consolidation? Correct? Yeah. Correct. But B, at the same time, you have to understand every single trade is different. The strategy remains the same, but depending upon what the markets are doing, your entry is going to be different, right? And look at you here. Says a lot, man. Don't stop. There you go. Do I have to turn on something on TradingView for being able to slide my stop loss? No, we shouldn't trade. No. Depending upon, like, are you connecting? It depends. Like, this is paper trading. You can slide it. But if you guys are using your real money or connected, you have to right click, put trade, and put those in here like that as well. Why did this bounce up right here? Well, I don't know. Let's go to a bigger time frame. I mean, yeah, it's just bouncing up here a little bit just because of this little. And then you'll be like, well, why is this bouncing up a little bit higher right now? Well, it's bouncing a little bit higher up right now because of a little bit of support here. A little bit, because there's always support and resistance everywhere, right? The markets always don't just go in one direction, right? But we want to see continuation of lower lows, lower highs being made, okay? Do I have to turn on? Okay, cool, got it, perfect. Is this kind of making sense, guys? Like, I want you guys to start connecting the dots, right? And we're going to show you guys a lot more strategies. Like, the market's not going over. We're going to have 1,000 more lessons, okay? I want you guys to truly understand this. Again, I literally identified this in 5 seconds to try to trade this with you guys, and so far it's doing pretty good, right? Especially with such bad volume, right? I think so, little bit by little bit. As long as you guys are understanding and you guys walk away from this lesson with just something, that works. Okay? With just something, that works. Okay? And you guys can see, now we're going. Now we're up 130 again. You guys see, now we just made a lower high. We want to continue seeing lower lows, lower highs being made. If not, we might just be in another consolidation. We broke structure, and potentially we might just be consolidating. That'll be kind of annoying, right? But again, this is after hours. I never trade after hours. You should never trade after hours. Again, this is just for example purposes. But does that kind of make sense? And I'll just get in. If this is just happening, let's say this is happening in a real world scenario, and we're just jumping up and down. well, I'd rather take my $160 profit than potentially just me losing 140 if we're just not cleanly going to where I want to go. So I'm like, I'll just close the position, and there you go. We made 180 on the 110 on the contracts on that money, right? And the biggest thing I want you guys to understand is do not try to make unlimited money one day. If you make $100, close the computer, walk away, smile, be happy. Don't try to pass your accounts in one day. Don't try to make double your account in one day. Okay? Cool.